Good evening, everyone. Kalla here. Welcome to my live stream. Glad you could make it today. So, it's time for more Twisted Wonderland Glorious Masquerade event. Last time, the three interestingly named groups of our students set out on their individual fieldwork and somehow didn't get into any trouble. And they were able to explore the city and eat some snacks. So I guess it's time to see what happens when they get back together. 17 chapters to look forward to today. Thank you, Nick. How are you doing? 17's slightly longer than the previous two books, isn't it? Alright, let's get into it then. It's very colourful here. You just finished about 30 minutes ago. I'm hoping I have done the right number of lessons. I think I have. I was keeping track at one point, and then I lost track. Is this where we're supposed to meet up? Everyone better be here. So everybody better be here. Ah, there you are. Did all of us actually arrive on time? That's a rare occurrence. It was only 100, was it? I was looking at the requirements from the JP run that said 150, so I've definitely done over 100. Took you guys long enough. The crowds have been totally overwhelming. Well, this is the centre square for the festival. There are bound to be crowds. Aren't the decorations impressive? The main event will be held on that stage. Overachiever. Accidental overachiever. Did the stream just drop? Oh, there we go. Oh. Is the stream okay at the moment? Because I'm getting little loading things on my preview. You think it was okay? Okay. Well, hopefully there won't be any problems. Now, this festival is a particularly important ritual in Shaftland's history, said to date back to before the advent of magic. Ah, so magic hasn't always been a part of this, huh? Here we go, another interminable lecture. Is that tent over there the stage? The biggest one? There are a bunch of smaller tents around too. The smaller ones had little performances and merch and stuff. Say, Professor Train, since we're doing fieldwork and all, could we take a look around the square? Well, I don't see why not. We have a bit of time before the show starts. All right, everyone can go observe the festivities. Nice! Hey, Kalla, Grim, are there any tents you want to check out? If you look to the right, there's a most fascinating sight. This chapter can give you different outcomes and voice lines depending on what I pick. Ooh. Oh hey, what's that over on the left? So to to go with what Malleus finds interesting, as opposed to what Idia finds interesting. Ooh. Let's go see what's on the right. Yeah, monster alert! Yeah, it's got super huge legs! Those are stilts. That is almost assuredly an ordinary human in costume. A human climbs on top of the poles and then walks on them to make themselves look exceedingly tall.
So if I used those things, I'd be taller than you, Haunton.
Why are you trying to compete with Malleus? Oh, care to try me? Were I to give it a proper effort, I doubt someone of your stature could tower over me even with the aid of stilts.
What do you mean a proper effort? Can you make yourself grow taller or something?
Wouldn't you like to know?
What's with that smirk? You're getting real cheeky, Haunton. In that case, I'll make Kalla get on the stilts and I'll ride on top.
Have I leveled my Grim and Idia yet? A little bit. I think their spells are at around... I think Idia's spells are at about level 6, and Grim's are at about level 7 or 8. And in terms of card level, they're at 40. Grim, that sounds dangerous. Grim, I am not getting on stilts for you. Agreed. I suggest you avoid endangering yourself unnecessarily, since it wouldn't help you anyway.
If I still couldn't win, I'd throw Juice in too.
What, Juice on my shoulders or me on Juice's shoulders? It's so busy here, there are so many different showcases, I doubt I could catch all of them. Juice just completely changing the topic. Kalla, let me know if there's anything else you're interested in. Oh, I just saw something curious come out of that tent way over there.
Kalla, let's go check out that tent up front.
Okay, Azul or Grim? Azul or Grim? I want to know what Azul finds interesting.
Whoa, what's that guy thinking? He's walking across a rope that's way high up.
It's called tightrope walking. I've never seen someone do it in the middle of a city. I've heard of such performances, but I've never seen one before. Balancing a long pole in both hands while walking across a single piece of rope. It's patently absurd. Walking on the ground isn't enough for them, they have to walk in the air too. Exciting, isn't it, Azul? You call this exciting? My goodness, Kalla, you're more daring than you look. I mean, I don't think I'd want to do it myself. Well, with a proper safety harness, yes. I've done high ropes courses with a safety harness. That's fine. Either way, surely there's some safety net I simply can't see. But even with that knowledge, my palms are still getting sweaty just watching this.
Oh, wind's blowing hard too. Now the rope's wobbling. Look out, he's gonna fall.
I simply don't understand it. How can someone rely so heavily on their legs when they only have two of them? And no suction cups to boot. Yeah. Hazel and Grim are both equally absorbed watching this. That's not something you see every day. Those people in front of the tent over there. I think I've seen them before. Are they from... Ooh, wait. So are we talking the people we've seen from Noble Bell, or are we going to bump into some Royal Sword Academy peeps? Also, what was with this chapter title? Let me sit in your lap. How's this going to come up? I see some familiar faces over by that tent there. It is some Royal Sword Academy peoples. Those are Royal Sword Academy students, if I'm not mistaken. You're right. There's Nage, and he's surrounded by a bunch of townsfolk. I see Chania as well. I wasn't expecting to run into him here. There are more of them too. The whole area's crawling with sparkly Royal Sword Academy prince archetypes. I guess all the preppies turned up for the social too, huh? They stand out even in these vast crowds. That's Royal Sword Academy for you, I suppose. I see some other people I know as well. I guess a lot of arcane academies came for the social. This show is supposed to be the centerpiece of the festival. I'm sure it's on every school's itinerary.
Hey, someone's come out on center stage.
Looks like the festivities are starting. Everyone, have a seat at the tables. With the bench seating, there's enough room for 6 people at each table. I'll sit with Professor Train. I'm sure it will be quite educational. Yeah, I'll sit at that table too. That way I don't get stuck as the odd guy out. Oh yeah, the odd guy out because there's 13 of us, if I recall correctly. Wait. Yeah, it was 13 including us and Graham, right? Very well. Kalla, come join us. You could stand to learn more about this world. And I shall join your table as well. I'd like to hear Kalla's thoughts on everything.
Hey, I'm sitting next to my hench human. Someone's gotta look after him.
Is that right? Then I shall sit next to you, Grim. I trust you won't mind.
I guess, if you insist.
Now, hold on! I would also like to sit at my liege's table and hear his insights. Sit elsewhere, Grim, and I shall take your place. That will make 6.
You're not the boss of me. I don't really care where I sit, but I don't like your tone, so yeah, I ain't moving.
Have you no appreciation for what an honour it is to sit next to the great Malleus? This seat is wasted on you. Yikes, here we go. Another endless circular argument over something completely trivial. If someone doesn't step in here, we're never going to get the seating figured out. How about we settle this with rock, paper, scissors? Ho-ho! A simple and straightforward approach. Very well, Grim, to battle.
1, 2, 3, shoot!
What?
Woohoo! I win!
Ah, how bitter defeat tastes. That's what you get to leaving your fate up to chance. If you don't want to lose, you should be better prepared. Hey, Azel? Rock, paper, scissors isn't chance, really. It can be a skill. I have a friend who, playing rock, paper, scissors, it takes at least 7 rounds before we get a winner. Because I think we just think very similarly. I'm always very surprised when it takes like 3. Ah, so this is where the Night Raven College students are sitting. Hello, Flam. Are you touring the festival as well? Yes, it's part of my duties as student council president, since I've invited all of the schools. Might I join your table? I'd enjoy the chance to chit-chat with you all. By all means, you're more than welcome. There's not enough space, however. Oh, that's an easy solve. Grim can sit in Kalla's lap. Ah, yeah, that makes sense, because Grim is small. Sebek being like, oh no, how did I not come up with the solution? Of course. Any opportunity to chat with a Noble Bell College student is an honour. I'd be glad to have you join us. You're looking forward to pulling Rollo, are you, Nick? I don't know whether I will be or not. Depends on what my resources are looking like at that point, huh?
Oh man, I don't want to be stuck on someone's lap.
Well, you could always sit with me.
That grin's giving me the heebie-jeebies. Sounds like an even worse option. Kalla, scoot back and make extra room for me to sit.
Apologies for the trouble, but thank you for having me all the same. My word, I hadn't even thought of that option. Azel, why didn't you speak up when I wanted that seat? Because he's not trying to, to butter you up, Sebek. Because he wanted to preserve his hearing, obs. I demand that someone other than Malleus let me sit in their lap. Sebek. 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 Are you aware of how tall you are? I suppose you have a point there. Then you can sit in my lap, Azel. How desperate are you? Absolutely not. Sebek, don't pester them. You lost the contest, and now you must accept the outcome with grace. I beg your pardon, sir. My sincerest apologies. Come now, there's no need to mope. You can sit at the next table over. There's hardly any difference. Go on and sit down. The show's starting. Sebek. Yeah, Sebek, you lost at rock paper scissors. Take your defeat with grace. Your attention, please. It's time to put down your work, leave your worries at the door, and celebrate. Topsy-turvy fest.
Topsy-turvy? What, we all gotta stand on our heads or something?
The idea is that the participants' social standings are inverted. Hence, festival goers need not worry about titles or status. You picked the drawing straws option. I mean, that one definitely is luck. Rock, paper, scissors is not 100% luck-based. The weak become the strong, and everyone can play the part of a king. So you could call it an unceremonious ceremony. Indeed. As such, everyone wears masks for the duration of the festival. Sensible enough. That way no one will recognize you and you can conduct yourself however you please. Oh yeah, I did notice people selling masks around town. There's something cool about seeing everyone look all mysterious like that. Yeah, there is a luck aspect to rock, paper, scissors. Particularly the first throw, anyway. The more times you draw and have to re-go, the less of a luck strategy it is, and the more of a figuring out what your opponent might throw based on what you threw last time. Maybe I just play rock, paper, scissors with people I know well far too often for it to be luck.
Partying sounds like a good time to me.
We all love Topsy-Turvy Fest, but the one who loved it most of all was the kindly bell ringer. Yes, exactly. Mind games, exactly.
Who's that?
Have you truly never heard of him?
Nope.
Grim, did you not even read a little about Fleur City before coming?
If it ain't food, I ain't interested.
You know, your one-track mind is oddly reassuring. What's this? Have you never heard of the kindly bell ringer? Oh! The little puppets. Never! Really?
That guy's talking to a hand puppet. Is he okay?
Doesn't he look familiar? Yes, it's, what was his name? Clopan? Was that right? It's the same thing that's in the intro, isn't it? With the puppets. I think. Why are you concerned? The puppet is clearly meant to evoke a ventriloquist's dummy.
What?
The clown behind the puppet is basically dubbing over it. I mean, he's talking without moving his mouth, so it looks like the puppet is talking.
So, he's talking to himself? Why would anyone do that?
It's an act. Now quiet down and watch. Since you don't know, then I will tell you the tale of the kindly bell ringer. We really are just going to go into the intro to Hunchback of Notre Dame, aren't we? There's a twist tune and everything. Is the music to this going to be the bells of Notre Dame? And hello, Thomas. Good morning to you. How are you doing? Since you don't know, then I will tell you the tale of the kindly bell ringer. Our tale begins in a small city where the righteous judge lived. The righteous judge was fair and just. Everyone respected him and abided by his judgments. That's the personage Flam told us about at Nobel Bell College.
Oh yeah, there was a big stone statue of him in front of the school, right?
So you remember. I'm surprised.
Hey, I resent that. Of course I remember something I learned today.
But there was no one who adored him more than his own disciple, the kindly bell ringer.
Oh, so the guy on the horse had a student.
Indeed, the kindly bell ringer is beloved throughout the Shaftlands, much like the righteous judge. Neither rain nor wind would deter the bell ringer from ringing the bells to announce the time throughout the town. But one day, disaster struck the peaceful city. You know, I've been wondering about this since I first heard anecdotes about the righteous judge. What exactly was this disaster? I tried looking into it before the trip, but I couldn't find any useful information. I should think not, since no one knows for certain. None of our literature goes into detail about it. The only writing we have on the matter is this. Disaster struck, enveloping the city in a shroud, hued the same as a fiery crimson lotus. Crimson, Does that perhaps suggest a great fire? Oh, yes, I understand fires can be devastating on land. It's a frighteningly powerful element. Plus, back in the old days they didn't have any building codes or regulations, so the buildings were probably crammed way close together. The fire must have been worse than anything we can imagine nowadays. The fiery crimson engulfed the city, throwing the people into terror and chaos. But the kindly bell ringer rang his bell and gave courage to the people. He then valiantly fought to protect the city.
Wow, neato! What a brave man he was! Ah, so he was basically a cool, gallant guy. Sounds like me.
They say the bell ringer upheld the righteous judge's teachings in everything he did. What devotion, They must have truly trusted each other. Yes, none of that would have happened if not for the righteous judge's exceptional character. Yeah. And what did the kindly bell ringer love most of all? Topsy-Turvy Day. Thomas, the name we were trying to remember is the name of the guy who looks like this puppet. Yeah, okay. It was Clubman. Yeah, I thought so. A long time ago, when this festival was called Topsy-Turvy Day. Oh, the music could be Topsy-Turvy Day rather than Bells of Notre Dame, couldn't it? For the Tris tune. The townsfolk chose the bell ringer to be their king, and oh, how they celebrated. What a wonderful man he must have been. And what a wonderful celebration this is! Do you appreciate it more now? Yup. Absolutely.
I appreciate it too.
We've got lots of fun in store. Whether you're local or just visiting, it's time to kick off Topsy-Turvy Fest. Ooh, confetti.
Now some people in fluttery costumes are coming out.
Okay, who's ready for some topsy-turvy fun? I heard a tambourine. That's some rather impressive tambourine playing. They move so fluidly with those scarves fluttering about, it's like they're floating on air. Extrovert energy, too strong. It's traditional to perform a dance with scarves and tambourines at this show.
Hey, what's with the sparks that happen every time they shake the tambourines?
Those are a form of magical fireworks. Oh, then is everyone dancing a mage? No, most of them aren't. The sparks are produced by magical implements. The organisers work with mages to produce the magical tambourines. That way, anyone can use magic during Topsy-Turvy Fest. Which, yeah, that would be appropriate, I guess, wouldn't it? Interesting. So, in keeping with the Topsy-Turvy theme, non-practitioners can use magic in a sense. They merely produce sparks, and you're all content with such trivial feats of magic? Hey, Malleus, you're a very strong mage. You wouldn't know. It would be so much more enjoyable if they performed grander feats. What's fun about banging on instruments so old they might as well be fossils? You could totally upgrade those. Rollo just explained they are traditional implements. Using the same ones is the point. It's not about the grandeur of the magic. What matters is that everyone can enjoy them. This insipid festival is nothing but a gathering of shameless, magic-addled fools. Did you say something just now, Flam? I'm so sorry I couldn't hear you over the din of the festival. Oh, it was nothing. I'm sure you'll learn much from experiencing the festivities firsthand. Come on, everybody! Join in the fun and get dancing!
Oh yeah, time to boogie! I'm gonna show you all my jaw-dropping dance moves.
Dance? Me? Please tell me you're joking. That's a hard nope from me. Are you going to just sit there while everyone else is dancing? You'll stick out like a sore thumb, you know. Shroud, it would be impolite to remain seated when they've invited you to take part. Dude, it would be way more cringe if I danced. Hey, you all ready? Let's go. Let's tear it up. Alright, what sort of a twist tune is this? Blue-red, okay. I can do that. Ah! Dropped my combo twice. Grim spinning like a top there. I can't keep this up. All this spinning is making me dizzy.
Everyone's totally dazzled by me. Let's crank this party up. Hey, wait. Where'd all the tambourine sparklies go?
Also, where did everyone get their masks from suddenly? Those tambourines are simple magical trinkets made specifically for this dance. I imagine the magic they were imbued with has run out. I like that Grimm's mask has little cat ears on the corners. It's finally over. Well, everyone, what say we wrap up here and adjourn back to campus?
Just getting started. Time to really spice things up.
Oh no! Grimm's about to get himself into trouble. Yeah, that is the thing with the twist tunes, isn't it? You've gotta ignore the cheepies. Otherwise you get distracted. Why am I so much worse at ignoring the ones in twist tunes as I was with the background stuff in Jacques Jan? I was so much better at completely ignoring that. Grimm made fireworks. Oh, fireworks! Where are they coming from? They're so pretty and sparkly, way bigger than the ones from the tambourines.
Check it out, Kalla! Everyone's going gaga over my magic.
I'm actually really impressed, Grimm, because you seem to have this under control. Grim, you should know better than just to fire off magic in the streets.
You're just jealous because everyone's impressed with me.
We are no such thing. Your antics risk my liege losing face. Okay, everyone, quiet down. It looks like some mischievous fledgling mage decided to gift us a little present. And hey, this festival only comes once a year, so let's forget our cares and party down. That was so cool, do the fireworks again. Come on, everyone, let's dance some more. Looks like all the festival goers are happy. Good for you, Grim. Now Professor Train will let you off the hook for using magic. Will he now? Will he now? Scratch that, he's totally peeved. I should think so. Someone as strict as Professor Train wouldn't let you get away with breaking... wouldn't just let you get away with breaking the rules. Poor Grim. He's going to get the lecture of a lifetime when we get back to Night Raven. Deuce, you think Professor Train's going to wait till we get back to college? Still, the festival goers enjoyed it. That was a fine way to energize the event. Perhaps I could put on the performance I had prepared as well. No, Malleus. No. Because your magic is a lot stronger than Grim's. Slow down, Malleus. You were planning to perform it at the ball, right? A special present has the most impact when offered at a special time. If you were to get carried away by the festivities and perform it now, you'd be spoiling half the fun. Would I? Yes, absolutely. Trust me. Azul, what have you got planned? Also, Malleus, what have you got planned? Yeah. Yep, you have plans. No one else at our school can turn maximum profit for minimal effort like I can. Personally, I kinda wish you'd just forget the whole thing. This again. You really don't know when to let something go. You're just going to have to deal with it. Then I'll take your advice, Ashen Grotto. Instead, I'll offer a more modest blessing of fireworks. A gift from Malleus himself! You should prostrate yourselves in gratitude, humans! Everyone's enjoying the festivities. This is wonderful. Allow me to help, Malleus.
Gift, huh? I don't really love giving away stuff, even if it's not worth much. But hey, a little magic's a small price to pay for a debt of gratitude.
You're all in so much trouble.
Here goes.
Well, looks like the Night Raven College boys are the ones sending up these fireworks. What a perfect time for me to join in with a little whimsical magic of my own. Check it out. Jania, you know better than that. And again, if it's making everyone happy, maybe I should do a little too. Yeah. Is this part of the social? Then let's help liven things up. There's going to be too many fireworks. Regardless of how this happened, I wouldn't want Night Raven to be outdone. Agreed. Let's show 'em what we're made of. Ah, the crowd is so lively and full of smiles. Marvelous. Allow me to contribute as well. I suppose after getting the locals' hopes up, it would be poor form to disappoint them. Oh, so we're not in trouble. Wait,
we're not in trouble with Train. Yeah, Rollo is probably incandescently angry with us.
Fine, I'll allow it as long as you remain on your best behaviour. Certainly, I'll make sure to liven things up in an appropriate way. Housewarden, let's send off a big burst of fireworks together. Magic-addled fools, the lot of them. The sight of it all sickens me. What's the matter, Flam? You should be enjoying the festivities as well. Malleus, you and many of your peers possess exceptional magical prowess. As such, you should be circumspect in how you use it. I hardly think such power is meant for arbitrary spectacles that inflame the public. As you say, I am indeed powerful. So, am I not free to use it and bestow gifts upon the people as I see fit? The people enjoy seeing our magic. That's sufficient enough reason for me. Come, Kalla, join us in the festivities. I'll be right over there. Magic is such a troublesome thing. Wouldn't you agree, Kalla? I can only imagine how arduous it must be to spend your days surrounded by a gaggle of rambunctious, foolhardy mages.
I mean, yes! But most of my problems with these guys aren't actually related to the fact that they're mages. I mean, the fact that they're mages makes the problems worse. But I'm pretty sure if I was in a school with all of these guys and they didn't have magic, they would still be causing me issues. It's just that maybe the issues would be a little easier to deal with and would not involve, overplots.
The world would be much better off without magic and the chaos it brings. Surely you must have had similar thoughts.
No, Rollo. Because why would I have those thoughts about this world? This isn't my world to mess with. Causing issues is what they do. Yeah. I was going to say magic is fun. Oh, or I'm pretty much used to the chaos by now. I mean, I am pretty much used to the chaos by now. But once again, magic doesn't come into that chaos so much. More just, being around these guys. Both answers are valid, that's true, but magic makes things fun. Fun? You actually enjoy all of this ridiculous horseplay? Yes, I do. That look at them, they're having fun, they're not causing problems. They're having fun in a controlled manner right now, Rollo. No one is overplotting. No one is scheming. Well, maybe Azel is scheming. Oh, how terrible. Your mind's clearly been poisoned by the mages around you. You'll see soon enough that magic is not something to be lionized. Hey, Kalla! You've got better things to do than stand around. Check this out! I call it the Great Grimm's Ultra Deluxe Golden Megafire! It worked! What amazing fireworks! The festival this year is something else. Keep the fireworks coming, mages, and I want to see everybody dance. All these foolish mages. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, they do overblot if they use magic too much, but I don't think pretty fireworks use a whole lot of magic in the first place. So you'd probably have to do a lot for that to be a problem. Was that two different bells, or was the bell echoing off of something else? That sound. Alas, the nighttime bell has rung. It's time for our delightful festival to come to an end. Did everyone have some topsy-turvy fun? You're always welcome to come back again. We'll see you at next year's Topsy-Turvy Fest. Boy, howdy, my cheeks hurt from laughing so much. All the locals looked like they had a blast. What a great festival. Attention, all arcane academies attending the social. It's time to return to Noble Bell College. I don't see Flam around. President Rollo already went back to school. I'm sure he's making preparations to welcome everyone. I see. I feel bad putting him to so much trouble. Considering how many mages you're hosting, it must have taken a great effort to get things ready for today alone. Yeah, honestly it did. And our president's been especially busy. He's worked harder than any of us to make this social happen. Say what? So Rollo's the kind of guy who looks all chill and detached, but secretly wants to make friends? No, actually, he generally prefers to keep to himself. I was surprised when he brought up the idea of the social. I'm sure he did all this to open up new learning opportunities for us. He's strict with everyone, including himself, but he's very diligent. He's also self-disciplined and discreet. His grades are outstanding, he's got magic in spades, and he's truly imaginative. Every student at Noble Bell College looks up to President Rollo. Fire! Ridiculous, all of it. Magic, a blessing, a gift, fun. Lies, all of them. Utter tripe spewed by complete fools. Otherwise, what am I doing this for? And I won't dwell on it. The suffering will finally be over soon enough. The time has come. Like these flames, they will engulf everything, and I shall right this sorry state of affairs. Yeah, good point, Thomas. Rollo is definitely stressed. Are we going to have our first non-Night Raven College overblot? I can hardly wait. Well, we're going to have a fight, apparently. Alright. I need fire. One could say hellfire. I'm beat after putting on that big show. I just want to go to my room and pass out. You must wait. One of the students here asked all social participants to assemble in this hall. I think all the students from the other schools are here too. Perhaps they're going to give us our schedule for tomorrow. I don't think this is supposed to ring again. Huh? Is that the Bell of Solace? It must be. There's no mistaking that distinctive ring. I thought the bell only rang at morning, noon, and night. And the nighttime bell has already rung. Yeah. And it only rang, like, twice. This is continuous. So why is it ringing this late? Is there some sort of flame in the corner of the hall? Oh. It does look like a flower. It looks like a flower, actually. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what sort of flower it looks like, but I'm not... Well, it's clearly a fire flower. Oh, look! There's a bunch of pretty red flowers by those pillars. I don't remember them being there when we first arrived. They're beautiful. I've never seen anything like... Did that guy just touch the flower and collapse? What's happening? I'm getting dizzy. The students near those flowers are fainting one after another. And more flowers are popping up at an alarming rate. So, this is your unique magic, is it, Roller? Fire flowers? I'm assuming he's using the Bell of Solace to boost his magic somehow. I don't know if it's just me or what, but I'm feeling kind of lightheaded. It's not just you. I'm having a dizzy spell too, it seems. It appears that the people closest to the flowers are fainting the fastest. What a sinister glow they have. It's enough to give me pause. Is it possible? Am I actually frightened by these tiny blooms? They're a bit less tiny than Yeah, the propagating flowers are climbing up my legs. Yeah, what is this? Strength fading. The more they cover me, the fainter I feel. I fear I may be... Malleus! Are you alright? I'll get these flowers off immediately. Sit tight, please. Ghastly plants! How dare you swarm our liege! Begone and wilt! They are indeed very pretty flowers, but, Silver, Sebek, you came through for me. Please step back and allow us to handle this, Malleus. Mere weeds dare harm the great Malleus. My magic shall obliterate you. Oh, we're fighting flowers, huh? Oh! Yeah, we'll leave it on auto. They were so creepy! Flowers and cloaks. Ooh, a 50-foot pole. That's an upgrade from the 10-foot pole. But yeah, it does appear that 10 feet isn't far enough away. Hey, I never said it wasn't a good design. I said it was creepy. Oh, lotuses. Oh, lotuses. Hello, Carl. Welcome to the stream. Yes, literal crimson flowers. Wither plants! What in the world? The flowers just absorbed Sebek's magic. The more spells we fire off, the more empowered they become. Their colour, the way they glow, it's almost like fire. Careful, Kalla. There are flowers sprouting up behind you. Kalla, get away! Ugh, we won't make it in time. Ah, but can they do anything to me since I'm not magic? Kalla! Oh, okay. Yep. Yep. MC is gonna be fine. Nothing's happening, guys. What? I ain't doing anything? Great, you had me worried over nothing. So, you're alright, Kalla. Aha! I have it. Everyone, put away your magical pens. Huh? But won't the flowers swarm us if we do that? Epel, we must listen to our wise professor. Silver and Sebek, that goes for you as well. Do as Train says. Yes, sir. The flowers aren't multiplying as fast now our pens are away. Yeah, they clearly feed on magic. No! Watch out! Everybody get back! Rods and Aegis? Oh no! He fell defending us! Oh no! Rook! I mean, or great for Rook, I don't know. His Oshi just fell defending him. Riddle, stick behind me! You too, card soldier! Don't just stand there! Chania, I never asked you to cover me, I can fight! We're all aspiring mages going to school on the same island. We gotta help each other out. Get out while I distract them. It's no use. We can't defend against these flowers. They've already surrounded us. This is a disaster. I must notify President Rollo. Stay away from me. The mages trying to fend off the flowers with magic are getting totally overrun and collapsing. I can't draw any definite conclusions from just this, but it's a pretty safe hypothesis to say these flowers respond to magic. Everyone, gather around me and listen carefully. Whatever you do, don't even think about using magic right now. Imagine Chania and Mage cards. Yep. I would also pull for them immediately. And I would also prefer Chania. But I mean, I've always liked the Cheshire Cat in general, so... Do you know what these flowers are, Professor? I don't want to believe it, but given their fiery appearance and ability to absorb magic, there can be no doubt. These are fire lotuses. Fire lotuses? I've never heard of such flowers. Are they common on land? No, it's the first I've heard of them too. And I know I'd remember if I'd seen one. I can hardly blame you for not knowing about them. Even I didn't recall them immediately. They're plants that thrive on all manner of magical energy. When you say all magical energy, does that mean... Yes, that includes the magical energy of mages such as ourselves. What? When they sense magic, they reach out their vines, much like other plants reacting to the sun. Then they grow roots and absorb the magic. They'll continue to sap a mage's magical energy. It serves as nourishment to help them bloom. And once they absorb the last of the mage's energy... Does the mage die, or do they just not be able to do magic ever again? The mage loses their magic permanently. Okay, the second. They lose their magic? Dude, that's a final boss right there. They must be the most OP enemy in all of Twisted Wonderland. That means we have to get every single mage out of here as well. There's a plant that horrifying growing on land? Wait, this doesn't make sense. If a plant that dangerous existed, surely we would have learned about it in school. Fire lotuses went extinct centuries ago. As I understand it, people back then banded together to eradicate the entire species in light of its danger. Nowadays, books on the history of magic give the plants only a passing mention, as an old legend. Precisely. That's Amelius! Your erudition knows no bounds! That guy just never stops. But what's an extinct plant even doing here, and why is there so much of it? That would be a better question for him. Him? So you're still standing. I suppose your wretched academy's reputation is deserved after all. It's you! Oh no! Who could possibly have guessed that Rollo would do something like this? So you're still standing. I suppose your wretched academy's reputation is deserved after all. Hello, LAGX? Welcome to the stream. It's you! Rollo! Hey, no fair standing up there where the flowers can't get you. Was all this your doing, Flam? Indeed. What an astute observation, considering what utter fools you are. What did you just call us? You wish me to say it again. Utter fools. All of you. Oh, you can scarcely imagine how hard it was to contain my laughter as I watched you blithely indulge in your merrymaking, completely ignorant of all the fire lotuses I was setting out. Oh, so they are genuine fire lotuses and this isn't your unique magic. Okay. My, that was quite a predictable villain line, you know. Yep, as all would know. Silence! You're the villains here! And what's more, you flaunted your magic and mesmerized our good citizens with it. You mages cannot be suffered to exist. But worry not. I shall bring salvation to incorrigible villains like yourselves. I shall engulf the world in the fiery crimson of these flowers, and strip every mage in twisted Wonderland of their magic. Right? Isn't Rollo a mage? Say what? And here he is, folks! The secret mastermind who was controlling the final boss all along! But what kind of mastermind jumps the gun and shows up this early? Dude has, like, 0 patience! Could you not right now? You're ruining the moment! Strip us of our magic, and then I wouldn't be able to become a great mage. Cool. What reason could you possibly have for this? Were these plants to spread, Briar Valley would not escape unscathed. Regardless of Flam's motivations, I cannot stand by and let this happen. This is exactly why you're all utter fools. How dare you! 3 times now you've called Malleus an utter fool! I mean, it's not just Malleus, Sebek, it's all of us. I've had it with you! Time to teach you some manners! Sebek? Sebek? Unless you're planning on running up there and punching the guy in the face. Please remember not to use magic here. But literally running up there and punching the guy in the face would be really good, and you should probably do it. Agreed. Rollo Flam, prepare for battle. We can stop you without magic. Yeah, I mean, these two are both trained with swords, right? So... And probably hand-to-hand, given that they don't have swords right now. I'm never a fan of the brute force option, but I suppose there's no alternative when our foe can't be reasoned with. Yeah, I can't just ignore an invasive plant species. I'm gonna put a stop to this before it spreads out of control. What's so amusing? Oh, you're far too late for that. My plan is already well underway. When the Bell of Solace rang for an unprecedented 4th time tonight, it suffused the city with magic. By which you mean the fire lotuses are all over the city right now, Rollo, huh? The fire lotuses aren't only in the school. They've spread throughout the city and are sapping the energy from every mage living here. They've spread throughout the city? Everyone, look outside. Yep, they're everywhere. It's like the city's on fire. My word, what a sight! The flowers are growing brighter and brighter at the expense of all the people. While the flowers harbour no ill will, I could not possibly call them beauty. I thought you were an honourable guy, but no, you're just a dirty, low-down punk. It's on now! You come down so we can throw down! Anyone else playing Hellfire at this moment? I mean the BGM kind of builds to it, doesn't it? Yes, Deuce is definitely here to punch Rollo in the face. You Night Raven College students are the only mages here still standing. What could you possibly hope to accomplish by yourselves? By all means, struggle and fight. You'll curse your own impotence soon enough. What was that noise? What noise? I didn't hear anything. I definitely hear something. It's a faint mechanical sounding. And of course Ruggy was the first one to hear it. He's literally a beastman. Oh, it's getting louder. Allow me to invite you someplace more fitting, so you can channel your energies appropriately. The floor's gone! I'm falling! We're being dropped into the catacombs. I mean the underground rivers. Wait, did Rollo literally build a mechanism to remove the floor? Look at these options. Oh no, I'm falling. That just seems way too calm. So, help! Kalla! Hey, is Malleus saving us? We'll finally be rid of it. And those accursed mages, with Malleus Draconia foremost among them, they'll all be finished. Enjoy your time down below, though I think you'll find it quite draining. I do like to bust out the evil laugh sometimes. It's fun. At long last, I shall finally mete out my justice. Okay. Fire Flora. Well. Yeah, this team should probably be fine, because it's not going to be that difficult anyway. Oh no, we're falling. I'm falling. I must protect my students. Everyone brace for impact. Ha! Oof. Ow. Yep, landed right on my butt. I mean, deuce, there are worse things to land on. Actually, your butt's probably the best part of you to land on. Less things you can break that way. Is everyone alright? I think I'm okay. I'm glad everyone's okay. Looks like those who couldn't handle their own landing are unharmed thanks to Professor Train. Nicely done, Professor. Naturally, I landed fine on my own by applying a bit of wind magic. Yeah, landing on your head would be, like, the worst. For sure. The best way would probably be if you could turn it into a proper breakfall. Although even then, you might break something. I mean, the purpose of some of the breakfalls is that breaking your arm, for instance, is a lot better for you than if you broke your back. Is this really the time to be sucking up? And we used magic, and therefore there are lotuses. I see the fire lotuses have reached here as well. Where are we anyway? There are way more flowers down here. They're covering everything. It's as if the ground is on fire. A sprain is indeed better than a full-on break. My sprained ankle is actually still recovering from like a month ago. So it's not great, but it's definitely a lot better than if I'd broken it. So that was his plan. Drop us into a pit of flowers to drain us quicker. How cowardly can that human be? We have to do something about the flowers. We cannot let them get Malleus again. But they grow by absorbing magic. You can't use magic to destroy them. How will you handle them? It might not occur to you, considering the abundance of magic that you were born with. But non-mages have their own methods for getting rid of plants. Yeah, we need a we need a herbicide. Yeah, that's exactly what what I meant, Nick. Yeah, literally one of the first things you learn in martial arts is how to fall safely, especially if because my first martial arts was judo. You fall a lot in judo, so you really have to know how to break your fall. Yeah, they don't let you do a lot of other things until you can actually do that properly. Yeah, you get thrown yes, you get thrown a lot. And sometimes the people throwing you are a lot friendlier than others, and sort of drop you gently. Like, sometimes you realise that the person you're throwing probably didn't expect you to actually get them off the ground, and definitely wasn't ready to break fall. And you have to kind of gently drop them. And then there's actual competitions where I was never very good at it. I would end up flying through the air and landing on my back very quickly in competitions. So it's a good thing I knew how to break my own fall. Anyway, getting rid of plants. Oh, I see what you're getting at. Wanna fill in the rest of us? I think what he means is... Uh-huh, okay. Well, that's simple enough. Even I can do that. I mean, we could also cut them down, we could also burn them. It's a laborious task, but it needs doing. All right, is everyone ready? If we don't want these plants to suck up all our magic, then it's time to get picking. Oh, we're just going to pick them one by one. Okay. Alright, what do we need now? Okay, no more fire. Flora water. Let's swap the auto team around then. Yeah, you'll do. Yeah, Kendo is one of the martial arts that I kind of wish I'd had the opportunity to learn. Yeah, I think overall I did a lot of judo. I also did some taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, and wushu. um, that's the full amount of the different martial arts I've tried in my life. Judo I spent the most time on, followed by wushu. Could I rank them on how much I liked them and why? Ooh, that's a tough one. It's difficult to describe, really. I do think judo was my favourite, which is obviously why I did it for the longest. It's a lot about leverage and stuff. You don't have to specifically be particularly strong to do it. And it actually helps if you're shorter or your center of gravity is a lot lower than your opponents. I know, I just got along with judo pretty well. Wushu was interesting because it was so kind of different, given that it was, well, very, very different from judo anyway. The katas and stuff were interesting. I did like the fact that it gave the opportunity to learn weaponry. Although, given that the first one was nunchucks, which I never really figured out how to do properly, and I hit myself in the head. I wish I could have got past nunchucks so that I could have done what was it after that? It was staff after that, and then sword. I had a friend who got up to there, I think. Taekwondo I didn't get along with too well. I think I only did a couple of sessions of that, but actually that might have been because it wasn't good for my schedule at the time. Jiu-jitsu was, well, half of jiu-jitsu was judo, so I knew what I was doing there. So I pretty much had all the throws and stuff down already, and it was just the punches and kicks and stuff. Jiu-jitsu is also where I surprised a 6-foot-something guy by being able to throw him really, really easily, which is what I meant about sometimes you've got to let the person you're throwing down really gently because they didn't expect you to get them off their feet. Anyway, I should really get back to this. My paws hurt from pulling up all these plants. I typically prefer picking stalks, not stalks. Ouch. I must say, doing weeding at my age wreaks havoc on my back. This is a new experience for me. I never knew picking plants was such a taxing endeavour. And every time I think I have things well in hand. Melius, look out! More flowers at your feet. You wanted just chatting about Marge. I don't have a whole lot to... I don't know if I could talk for a particularly long time about them. It's been so many years since I've actually done any. Like it's been since I graduated uni. Yeah. It's nerve-wracking to constantly make sure you don't get entangled, not to mention time-consuming. Yeah, I'm about at my limit too. My stamina meter's gonna bottom out before my MP does. Yeah, because you're not using your magic right now, are you? Come on, guys, you gotta pull with your legs. Your form's all wrong. Those stems ain't gonna come loose if y'all keep stooping down with your backs. Get down in the dirt. I don't think I love weeding. I love weeding or desperate times call for desperate measures. Like, I don't love weeding, I do a lot of it, but... And I mean, it's kind of fun for a while, and then it starts to hurt your back. Probably because my form's wrong. What? I won't be outdone by any human. Speed lines. Ah. Yeah, I can imagine what the garden at Ramshackle looks like, or what it looked like when MC moved in. It was probably quite a jungle. Probably full of brambles. I can imagine it would have taken a lot of work. Riddle's impressed by it. Nice. That means we've done a good job on it. I need to go get some more water. I will be right back. have returned. Have we cleared the area? I've done weeding before, but it still wears me out. Guys, Professor Train's still crouching on the ground over here. He is? You're right. Are you okay, Professor? Back's too stiff. Can't get up. Sheesh, a few weeds and you guys are crying, Uncle. The smallest kids would handle this kind of job back in the slums. I'm so worn out I don't even have the energy to get annoyed at your weird weeding flax. I'm with you guys. I used to do weeding all the time in the orchards back home. These fire lotuses have long, strong roots. They ain't no garden variety weeds. Also, what are we doing with them after we've picked them? Are we throwing them in the soleil? Like, are these things strong enough to take root again? Indeed they are not. Uprooting even one is an arduous task. You said that people eradicated these plants long ago. How did they achieve that feat? Their methods have not been passed down in our lore. Yeah, probably because they didn't expect it to be a problem again. But considering how swiftly these flowers multiply, I doubt they did it by picking them one by one. I mean, you probably put the area to the torch, right? Give the fire lotuses some real fire. To think a plant species could propagate so quickly even down here with no sunlight. What a bothersome bloom. I see light at the end of the tunnel. I believe it leads outside. I'd like to find out where we are. Let us step outside and see. The moon's so bright. Oh, this is the same waterway we visited earlier today. So we dropped from the Nobel Bell lecture hall into the underground waterways. Waterways? Oh yes, I read that there's a network of underground channels across the whole city. So this is one of them. Nobel Bell College looks to be right above us. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say Rollo kept the fire lotuses prepared for his plan in this very waterway. He would have needed ample time and resources to revive an extinct flower. This area is concealed from view and close to the school. It would have been easy to hide the plants here. And also easy for us to accidentally come across it earlier when we were exploring. If this was where the flowers started growing, it would make sense that the waterway is teeming with them. I don't know where Rollo got his hands on the seeds of an extinct plant. But boy, talk about a classic villain move. That guy does not disappoint. What's with these flowers? They just popped up out of nowhere. Someone help! The family's covered in red flowers and they won't wake up. He had a Phantom of the Opera moment. No! Stay back! I can hear the townsfolk screaming. It's late. Most people will be winding down for the night. They were probably caught completely unawares. All the mages in town must be getting attacked. Oh, this is so frustrating. I don't get it. Why is Rollo so angry with mages? Well, maybe I should ask what happened to make him feel this way. How should we know, and why should we care? Sebek, we should care because if we know why he's feeling this way, then maybe we can stop him doing this. Since he views mages with such disdain, doesn't that mean he hates himself? He's one of us too. Of course, the logic of such a twisted human being would elude us. Given the depths of his hatred, I suppose the social was all part of his diabolical scheme as well. What? It only makes sense. While we don't know the reason why, Rollo clearly despises mages. He must have planned to use the Fire Lotuses to disempower students from every arcane academy in one fell swoop. And we walked right into his trap, blissfully ignorant all the while. And now Malleus is like, you mean this thing that I got specifically invited to, that I was excited to go to because I got specifically invited to, I was invited to because someone wanted to murder me? Like moths to a flame, huh? From where Rollo was standing, we must have looked like a bunch of brainless worms. Yes, as much as it chagrins me to admit. He was right. We were complete and utter fools. Okay, but like, I kinda think he was targeting Malleus from the start. At least Idia's noticed that it was probably specifically aimed at... Well, yeah, not exactly his life, but I mean, it might as well be, right? Can you imagine Malleus no longer having magic? Or like any fairy? Okay, but like, I kinda think he was targeting Malleus from the start. It's entirely possible. Malleus is foremost among the mages at our school, and the rest of the world, really. It wouldn't surprise me if the social was a smokescreen, orchestrated for the sole purpose of bringing down Malleus. So this whole time the social was just bait. To catch the biggest fish of all, Malleus. I believe you've both made your point abundantly clear. You can stop hammering it home now. Malleus, are you okay? He's been frowning this whole time. I can't blame him. I mean, you could say that we were all dragged into this mess because of him. FL, stop making the guy feel worse. Maybe he feels responsible. This whole discussion about Rollo's intentions is pure speculation on our part. Even if it was true, Malleus has broken no rules. He has no reason to feel guilty. I know how that sounds, but Mr. Zero EQ, I mean, Taskmaster Riddle. It's not just empty consolation. He'd probably say the same thing if he were in Malleus's shoes. True, although I don't get the sense Riddle or Malleus are that upstanding. Something like this wouldn't make either of them feel guilty. Oof. No! There are flowers behind Malleus. More of them. What pestiferous plants. Malleus, get away! Why are you grinning like that, Malleus? Malleus? Now I see. Everything he said was a lie. Oh, Malleus is mad! Oh, this is very bad. Malleus is angry. Angry? I thought he was sad. The social, a personal invitation to me. It was all pure deception. A ploy to lure me into a trap. You'll pay for this. You will pay, Rollo Flam. Oh, geez, he is big mad. There, you see, remind me who spouted the silly notion that he was a sucker who felt guilty. Oh, the dragons, what an anguished cry he has. It makes my own heart tremble. I don't think that's your heart trembling, it's literally the ground. Malleus was overjoyed to be personally invited to the social. He insisted on making extra preparations and reading everything he could about Fleur City. Yes, and he eagerly counted down the days until our trip by marking them on his calendar. Now that all his hopes have been dashed, his sorrow must be unfathomable. Once again, this looks like anger and not sorrow, so... Oh, what a heart-rending sight! We're in mortal danger and that's what he's mad about? I thought I'd been issued a genuine invitation. You shall pay dearly for this! Ah, Rollo Flam, you have awoken the sleeping dragon. And that's dangerous for your entire city. Very much a child throwing a tantrum. Or indeed a lot like Maleficent going, "Oh, so you did deliberately not invite me? Well then, it's war." Oh, my fur's standing on end. It's Static City over here. It's radiating so much power I can't move. It feels as though anyone who took a step toward him right now would get sent flying back. Do we need to fix Malleus now? Cease this at once, Draconia. All this power will draw in more flowers. Keep cool, Haunton. Please? Look, more flowers, scores of them. Malleus, please stop. You're putting all of us in danger. These weeds. That boy! They will all rue the day they mocked me! Whoa! picked up so much dirt, I got a bunch of it in my mouth. I can't see with all of this dust. What incredible power. Deuce, everyone, are you all right? Yeah, I think so. But what about Malleus? After that burst of power, the flowers must have devoured him. Probably not. He's probably fine. Oh no. No, say it isn't so. Malleus! What? Huh? You're safe? Yeah, I think he's literally blown all the flowers away. I'm perfectly fine, as you can see. Jeez, don't scare us like that. How could you be fine after all those flowers swarmed you? My word. Everyone, look around Malleus. There aren't any flowers. His epic magical powers must have overloaded the flowers. Like, you want food flowers? Ha ha ha. What's all this now? The fire lotuses are wilted. I'm glad we're all safe and sound, but Draconia! How could you forget yourself in a fit of pique? Have I not repeatedly outlined how Nightraven College students are expected to always remain calm and maintain proper decorum? Ah, my liege is safe! Oh, if anything had happened to you, I don't know what I would have done. Malleus, I must ask that you never give in to your anger and expose yourself to danger like that again. I mean, I think Silver and Sevek's things about guarding him are less to do with, like, attempts on his life and more to do with, just making sure he doesn't get into unnecessary trouble, right? And, like, helping him maneuver around stuff that is outside of his castle, right? You had me so worried, Hornden. When I saw the rest of you in a panic, it helped calm me down somewhat. Little note, never make Malleus mad, like, ever. Agreed, I like being alive, thank you very much. But why did the flowers wilt? Draconia, care to explain what you did? It wasn't intentional, I simply unleashed my full magical might. It wasn't intentional. But the fire lotus leaves are clearly drooping. Some of them have yellowed as well. Something damaged them. I've seen similar things happen to plants back home in the Scalding Sands. The temperature's drastically different during the day than it is at night. When someone sets out plants during the day and forgets to bring them in at night, a frost forms on them, and they wilt like this. Frost, you say? Considering Malleus's power, it's possible. Perhaps you froze them when you unleashed your might? I don't recall doing anything of the sort. Then how? Yeah, I think he overfed them. I'm still gonna go with he overfed them. Which FL might be able to explain. You know, I think I know what happened. What was that, Fermier? Have you identified the cause? Yes, sir, I think so. The same thing happened to some veggie seedlings that I was growing back home. Going by just the symptoms, it looked like frost had got 'em, like Gemel described. But when I looked into it more, I found out it wasn't frost at all. The seedlings had wilted because of fertilizer burn. Fertilizer burn? Yep, too much fertilizer can mess with a plant's roots. It can cause them to decay or get all misshapen. I bet the roots of these flowers look the same. See here? The roots of the flower you just pulled out are blackened and disintegrating. Exactly. I think that's what wilted the fire lotuses. Très bien! What fantastic knowledge you've shown, FL. Hey, wait. I was right about why the fire lotuses died? I couldn't be more proud of my fellow dorm mate. Oh, it's just because I grew up in an orchard around tons of plants and stuff. I beg to differ. It was an incisive insight drawn from personal experience. Fine work, Fermier. The fire lotuses absorb all kinds of magic. In this case, they eagerly devoured all the power Draconia radiated. And as a result, they became overnourished and decayed naturally. Well, that makes dealing with them way easier. If our esteemed companion here just unleashes one of his absurdly powerful spells, he could make all the fire lotuses in town wilt at once, right? Ruggy, how much magic do you think that's going to take? Ruggy, do you want Malleus to overblot? Because I don't. Oh, it sounds easy enough to me. I'm afraid that's not feasible. Unfortunately, most of my power was absorbed during our initial encounter with the flowers in the lecture hall. What? Oh, and there's that. His MP is very low right now. And he probably used the rest of it. So what we need is an MP potion. Are you all right, sir? I'm not under any great strain, but it will take longer than usual for me to cast spells. When we fell into the waterway, I tried to safeguard Kalla, as my friend can't use magic. But I couldn't control my magic as normal. I couldn't even levitate as I usually can. It will take some time for me to recover. My power alone won't be enough to eliminate the fire lotuses in the city as things stand. Makes sense. Those flowers aggroed Malleus right away in the lecture hall. Yes, it's only because he's Malleus that he's still standing right now. Any other mage would have long since been sucked dry if that many flowers had got them at once. Just walk. I mean, we were falling a long distance. I could understand him trying to cast Featherfall on himself and also the MC. Although it kind of feels like Professor Train got us all with Featherfall. Those wretched plants' impertinence knows no bounds. It might not be feasible with just Malleus, but what if we all combined our magic? Who? Us? Are you serious? Okay, let me give you a metaphor. If Malleus's magical power is a 25-meter pool, each of ours would be a water bottle. No, not even that, would be a bottle cap's worth. The rest of us combined couldn't reach half his power. Pooling our magic for some fancy combo attack? Please, we're a drop in the bucket compared to him. I wouldn't describe my power that generously. No, he's right. You possess immense power, Malleus. We could never hold a candle to you. This isn't a competition, but the point does stand. Then I guess we gotta stick to weeding them the old-fashioned way. Out of the question, it was hard enough to clear the ones around here. We couldn't cover the whole city, we'd never be able to keep up with how fast they spread that way. Yeah, well, you see, I guess we have got to go use the Bell of Solace, right? It's a giant magical artifact that can probably... that I'm assuming can boost magic. I'm assuming that if we go to the top of the bell tower and channel Malleus's magic through the bell, we could get everything, right? Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, they all use magic for everything. I think it's because, to use D&D terms, Thomas, almost all of those everyday things that they do with magic is like cantrip level. So like, almost nothing that uses actual spell slots. So it's all kind of minimal. So I guess that's why it doesn't really cause a problem. Also the fact that there's a lot of them in his homeland aren't humans. Like, does Fey magic work differently? I don't know. Given that they're kind of inherently magic. The flowers would swarm us in a second. It'd be like laying out a banquet for them. But then, what else can we do? Oh, what if we burn them without using magic? That'd take care of them fast, right? Ah, yes, Juice. Let's just set the city on fire. I mean, it'll fix the plant problem. Juice, you know how far they've spread throughout the town? If we set them on fire, the flames will spread and burn down the whole city. That'd be just as bad. Oh, right. Can't we ask Night Raven College and others outside the city for help? There are still unconscious students in the lecture hall, you know. Their magic is being sapped as we speak. Yeah, I'm worried about them. What if some poor Royal Sword Academy student has entirely lost his magic? Oh, that's fine. If we don't act fast, the flowers will drain them of their magic completely and they'll never regain it. Judging by how rapidly I could feel my own power being drained, we have hours at most. We can't afford to wait for help. We cannot allow one man's nonsense to deprive these young students of their futures. We have to do something. I don't know. I mean, I personally couldn't care less what happens to those Royal Sword guys. Yeah, you wouldn't, would you, Ruggy? Yeah, they kind of brought it on themselves. We could just go home right now. Yeah, and this is what I meant by you guys being a problem regardless of magic. You fools! Don't you realize why you're still even standing? It's because Royal Sword Academy students sacrificed themselves so you could make it out unscathed. To think that you would turn your backs on them so easily, Oh, where did I go wrong in teaching you? I always espoused the importance of decorum, and yet... No, you made the professor cry, you terrible, terrible people. Oh, Train's crying. Dude, apologize to him, Ruggy. Idia, you apologize too. Wait, me? What you said was way worse. I think Professor Train needs a hug. And several of these guys need bonks on the head. You're both terrible. There are many victims left unconscious, with the flowers indiscriminately draining their magic. Right now, the blooms are still within the city limits, but they will spread further before long. And when that happens, they'll endanger those we care about. Professor Train's right. It falls to us to wipe out the fire lotuses. Yes, I suppose so. Well, I also don't care about anyone from Royal Sword Academy. I can't stand the notion of leaving a debt unpaid. Okay, fair. It'd bug me a ton if those sparkly normies saved us and we didn't even it up. You're totally right, Azel. You've got to pay back debts in kind. That's the spirit. The last thing I need is them invoicing us for medical expenses because they saved us. Ah, there's the Azel we know. Besides, gentlemen, think about it. We could have a whole bevy of mages in our debt. How could we possibly let such a golden opportunity slip through our fingers? Here we go again with Azel's bizarre idea to say it's okay to take an L if you get some kind of dub out of it. That's not a healthy mindset, you know. Bizarre. I resent that. I only do this sort of thing when I expect an ample return. It's called an investment. It's oddly reassuring how your priorities never change, Azel. Yeah, that's very accurate, Riddle. It is oddly reassuring how you can always count on Azel to find the prophet in a situation. I share all of your sentiments. I haven't the slightest intention of walking away from this affair. I won't be satisfied until I can strike down Rollo Flam for deceiving me. Absolutely. I couldn't possibly leave the city until he grovels before you and begs your forgiveness, my liege. Agreed. We need to teach Rollo that what he's doing isn't right. So let's put our heads together and think of a plan to save everyone. Yeah, that top one, I think. Save? Something about that word is, nagging me.
What's up, Kalla?
I take it you've connected the dots as well, Kalla. You're all making this much harder than it needs to be. The fastest way to eradicate the fire lotuses is to inundate them with magic until they wilt. But as we've established, our group doesn't have the power to do that on our own. So we'll just use an alternate power source. The Bell of Solace. Azel is right. I got to the I got to that result as well. And I do agree with you, Thomas, that yeah, there's a lot of things that people who use magic for everything just don't know how to do, and they probably should learn it. You know, like when Malleus did the culinary crucible and actually learned to cook without magic. Right? The fastest way to eradicate the fire lotuses is to inundate them with magic until they wilt. But as we've established, our group doesn't have the power to do that on our own. So we'll just use an alternate power source. But who could we turn to for such power when practically all the mages in the city are incapacitated? And there are few mages with magical reserves on par with our own. We'd have to gather hundreds of them. I'm surprised you still don't get it. Dude, Malleus, you're powerful and all, but seriously? A magic pool's the be-all and end-all to you? I didn't peg you for an unga-bunga brute force kind of guy. Did you just mock my liege? Look, I mean, come on! If you can't do something yourself, you'd normally use a tool of some kind to get the job done. Isn't using tools to make things easier the mark of intelligent life? Tools? It's a real handy one just begging to be used. You know, a magical artifact that sends magic all over the city. All over the... Ah. The Bell of Solace. Bingo! Remember what Rollo said when we first got attacked in the lecture hall? When the Bell of Solace rang for a fourth time, it suffused the city with magic. Cue smug face emoji. Normally the bell rings 3 times a day. So Rollo rang it a fourth time to amp up the magic and make the flowers grow like wildfire. Of course, you're right. All the flowers popped up in the lecture hall immediately after the bell rang, which means... Now you got it. One extra ring is enough to make the flowers grow super fast. So if we ring in a bunch and fill the city with even more magical power, what do you think's going to happen to all those precious flowers you spent so long carefully cultivating? The city would become even more saturated with magic, and the flowers would get overwhelmed and wilt. To think that what causes them to flourish would also be their demise. Yeah, that thing that we literally just learnt about fertilizer burn, Malleus. The thing that makes them flourish will also be their demise. Because they're flowers. It's exactly like Ethel's description of fertilizer burn. Ha, see? I was right. So we'll supply the necessary magic with a tool rather than our own power. It's true that I normally never consider that kind of option. There are very few instances where my magic isn't sufficient for a task. Malleus sort of talking a little bit about what you're talking about here, Thomas. Wish I could say that once in my life. Very well. Let us head for the Bell of Solace and ring it right now. I think not. All of you are to wait here. Huh? I will climb the bell tower to ring the Bell of Solace. Since we've cleared this area of fire lotuses, it's safer than anywhere else. All of you stay here until the bell is rung. Professor, I would like to indicate the people you have gathered here and ask you whether you think they're actually going to obey any kind of order. Professor Train, you shouldn't strain yourself. What do you mean by that? He's been stooped over this whole time. Ah, Silver being a good boy. Good boy Silver, as usual. My father does the same thing when his back hurts. Now I'm just imagining Lilia complaining of back pain. Why is that hilarious? Wait, so he hurt his back? Must have been from all the weeding. I have not. Yeah, real convincing, bub. Professor, why would you push yourself like that? You should have told us you're in pain. He has his pride as a professor. It's only natural that he wouldn't want his students to see him in a moment of weakness. So you're just trying to save face? Come on, Professor. Pride ain't worth a single sore cent. But the Bell of Solace is on the top floor of the tower. The way up is bound to be infested with fire lotuses. Professor, I have a solution. I don't have any problems with fire lotuses. I could just go and ring it. Because you don't need magic to ring it, right? Right? It will be dangerous getting up there. You make our case for us, Train. You would climb the stairs far too slowly since you're in pain. The flowers would consume you in seconds. Allow us to handle this. Please do. We're not afraid of the danger. We've learned from the best, after all. I don't like where this is going. This is going to end with us having to climb the tower, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it is, Idia. We gotta climb all these stairs again. All the way to the top. Which means that you and Azel and me are all gonna die on the way up. Again. This is strangely reminiscent of the story of the righteous judge and the kindly bell ringer. I'm sure the righteous judge was incredibly worried when the kindly bell ringer was trying to avert the catastrophe. But he chose to have faith in his dear pupil and let him go, and so the city was saved. As your teacher and chaperone, I'd much prefer it if you didn't endanger yourselves. But I suppose I must have faith, as that great man once did. You can rest assured that we shan't disappoint. Worry not, Professor Train, for I shall protect Malleus. Mind giving us a little of that protection too? I'm sorry for Sebek's lack of manners. You all have my protection, of course. Good boy, Silver. Good boy. It's fine. We should all be looking out for ourselves anyway. That's how I prefer it. If you're worried, Ruggy, you could always stay behind with Professor Train. None of us would hold it against you. Ooh, in that case, maybe I should... Silver best boy in this moment. No, Silver best boy in a lot of moments. I wasn't speaking to you. As a house warden, it's your responsibility to help. Actually, I'll be going to aid the mages in town once you set off. Wait, what? But the city's overrun with flowers. It's too dangerous. Professor, you hurt your back, did you not? You should lie down and put some ice on it. Yeah, where's he getting ice from right now, Sebek? I suddenly feel decades older. Don't worry, climbing those stairs might be too much for me, but I can handle getting rid of some flowers. Professor, I know you're quite capable, but I do question whether you'll really be safe in town. Well, if all of you are that concerned... Kalla, Grimm... Oh, are we going with the professor? Kalla, since you've no magic pool to speak of, the flowers present no danger to you. And Grimm, you're nimble and could easily avoid the flowers. I'd like both of you to join me in helping the townspeople. Oh, man, you're really asking me? I don't know. Ooh, oof. That second one seems a bit rude. Sign me up. Thank you. I'm sure everyone will be immensely grateful to you. That just leaves you, Grimm. Hey, Grimm, are you gonna let Kalla hug all the spotlight? If the three of you save the city, you'll probably be celebrated as heroes like the kindly bell ringer. Isn't that right, Kalla? Ooh, I can hear the cheers. Wow, both of those are so incredibly cringe. Let's go with the first one. I can hear their cheers now. Grace, the coolest you ever lived! Okay, we all know it's true, but you're making me blush. Ah, fine. Guess someone's gotta bail out rickety old train and my henchhuman. Oh boy, so it's either go for the bell or help in town. Both sound rough. In that case, I guess I'd better suck it up and stick with Team Bell Tower. Oh well, I appreciate your change in attitude, but why choose us? More human shields, I mean, the more people there are, the better my odds of survival are. Exactly what I expected from you, Ruggy. You never disappoint. You know what? I can respect how Ruggy always looks out for number one. Not looking forward to tangling with those stairs again, but I'm thinking along the same lines. Might as well come with. I'm coming as well. There's no telling what kind of grief I'd get later if I just stayed here. Besides, I can't let that smarmy villain get away with mocking us like that. Our school's honour is on the line. You bet I'm going with the Bell Group. I don't run from fights. I'm gonna make sure that punk gets it for everyone he's hurt. Yeah, for sure. He's gonna regret springing a trap on us. I'll destroy every last fire lotus and wipe that smug smirk off of Rollo's face. Deuce, Epel, well said. Avenging every insult personally is the Night Raven College way. Yeah, okay. We shall crush Rollo Flam ourselves. Indeed, let us ring the bell of solace and reclaim the beautiful Fleur City. Alright, everyone, listen up. Flam used the bell of solace to propagate the flowers, so there's no way he hasn't considered the possibility. He's bound to be on the top floor of the tower, safeguarding the bell. He's an exceptional mage, so I advise you to proceed with extreme caution. We're not going to lose to some grognard mage clinging to an extinct relic of a flower. Please, don't insult us. Instead, I suggest you begin thinking of a suitable reward for when we all return. I will put a stop to all his schemes. Where shall I begin? Just you wait, Flam. We'll face each other soon enough. No, we'll face one another soon enough. Yeah, 'cause Malleus is still mad. Hey, and we are done with the book, and we have a rook to pick up. A mage that'll stand with the flowers regardless of if the flowers drain him. He's probably looking forward to that, right? There we go. Rook claimed. Story done. And that means we're done for this stream then. Thank you very much for watching. Been fun. If you're new here and you've enjoyed your time, please consider subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on social media, which is linked below. Yeah, I do have to do all the stamp missions now. I need to do all of the Rook ones and also the Twist tunes. Yes. Streaming schedule. It's posted both here on YouTube in the community tab and also over on social media. This was the last
stream scheduled for this week. I've got 2 video uploads scheduled for this weekend. Hopefully, assuming I actually finish editing them. So they'll be there to tide you over while I'm gone. And the next actual live stream will be Halloween for the next part of the story. So I'll see you then or another time. And once again, thanks for coming, and this is Kalla signing out. See ya, bye bye.